If you like to make your NFL games a little more interesting, you've come to the right place. It's the Even Money Podcast with Ross Tucker and Steve Fezzik.
Yeah, Vegas, baby, Vegas. It is the Even Money Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. I'm Ross Tucker, former NFL offensive lineman, 5 teams, 7 years. Absolutely love this podcast. It's my favorite one that we do. Been killing it over the last 5 years. This year, not so much. Hasn't been as good. Should remind you, by the way, that if you want the free Madden this week, I got 2 more Maddens to give away. All you have to do is get the greatest gift of all time for a loved one at myfrontpagestory.com. Trust me, it's amazing. Speaking of amazing, he's Steve Fezzik at Fezzik Sports, the only 2-time winner of the Super Bowl of professional football gambling. He won the Super Contest at the Westgate back-to-back years, almost statistically impossible, and he would be the first one to tell you that because he knows the numbers, but he did it at Fezzik Sports. Only at Fezzik Sports. I'm at Ross Tucker NFL. We are at Ross Tucker Pod, which is a great way to see the highlight clips of all of our shows. You can also always check out those highlight clips or watch the show if you prefer to do that via YouTube, youtube.com/Ross Tucker NFL. Steve, it was not a good week for us, unfortunately. Let's start with Thursday night, which really hurt us. The game I was at, Ravens-Dolphins. Ravens were laying 7.5. I teased them with both the Raiders and the Vikings. You teased them with the Cowboys and the Steelers. So I guess if you feel anyway, Steve, at least you got 2 of those wrong. I got 2 of mine wrong too. Out of your 3 that you teased, the only one you got right was the Cowboys -2.5. Out of the 3 I teased, Ravens, Vikings, Raiders, only the Vikings came through. You lost 8 units on teasers. I lost 6. Got to be honest with you, Steve. Teasers have not been real good for us. They have not been real good for me this season.
Teasers were great the first 7 weeks of the season. They've been terrible. Since then, not only do I lose the Ravens teasers, I lose my survivor pick on Baltimore, which is okay because I thought about using the Steelers as my alternate. So either way, would have lost. Ross, we talked about it. A lot of experts said, I expect 100 to 200 winners in Survivor. Well, now there's still 10 weeks left and there's only 200 people left in Circa Survivor. Now the talk is anyone going to make it all the way to the finish line here? It's hard to pick 20 straight winners.
It's funny how quickly that changes, isn't it? There's no question. That was a disappointing performance by the Ravens. I called that game with Ian Eagle for Westwood 1. It was just domination. I mean, the Ravens looked okay the first couple series. After that, they had no answer for the Dolphins' all-out blitz. Very disappointing performance by the Ravens. How about the Bucks and Washington, Steve? I lean to the Bucks laying the 9.5. Brady coming off a loss and a bye. They lose outright by double digits by 10, Steve.
Yes, a parity surfaced in the NFL. That was shocking considering that Tampa Bay was off a loss and a bye, and so you can make the case a really good spot. I'm looking at my power ratings, Ross. I don't have one team that's better than 6 points better than average in my numbers right now. I still have Tampa, my number 1 team, but a tremendous amount of parity at the top, not the bottom, but at the top in the NFL.
You know what else surprises me? That 2 out of 3 men experience some form of hair loss by the time they're 35 and still aren't taking the only 2 FDA-approved medications that can prevent hair loss. Keeps offers both of them. I've been taking them both for a long time. I've been taking them both since before Keeps was even a company, because I talked to multiple doctors and they said, listen, if the FDA approved it, there's scientific evidence that it works. Okay. So it's a pill in the morning. It's a topical solution in the morning and at night. The key is keeping what you already have. I don't think it's very easy to have it grow back. It does a great job of keeping what you already have. If you're ready to take action, like I did, and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/even money to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's KEEPS.com/even money to get your first month free. Keeps.com/even money. All right, Steve. Next up, back-to-back underdogs I took that got slaughtered. You know, two of my two 2-unit plays came through. My 2 1-unit plays did not. I thought the Bills had 2 poor showings in a row offensively. I thought the Jets get Mike White back. They're getting 13 points. They lose 45-17. You lean to the Bills and laying the points, Steve. You were right. I lost 1 unit. The Mike White dream is dead.
No doubt about it. 4 interceptions, and the pride of Western Kentucky will return to some team's practice squad, no doubt. And I don't think we'll see any more Mike White. Look for Wilson to come back this week.
Falcons, Cowboys. Falcons had been competitive in every game so far until the one where I put 1 unit on them, getting 9 points, and the Cowboys eviscerate them 43-3.
We'll have to look up eviscerate, primetime Ivy League words here. But they didn't show up. And even more shocking, this is the game Atlanta had a 99% chance to win last year. So you would have thought they'd have this one circled. Complete no-show by the Falcons.
Yeah, rough. Absolutely rough. Let's move on. Patriots, Browns. I leaned to the Browns. I was believing what I saw with the Browns against the Bengals. You put 2 units on the Patriots, Steve. Well, I don't know how you knew. It was only a 1-point spread. You put 2 units on them. Patriots demolished the Browns 45-7.
And the Pats are a team that historically just get better. They have a subpar start in September. Belichick teams tend to improve. No reason not to expect that with a rookie quarterback, especially this year. And that's what we're certainly seeing happen with the Patriots.
Yeah, they sure are improving. That's for sure. How about my Lions? Finally, the Lions come through for me. Lions getting 9 points against the Steelers. I put 2 units on Detroit. I thought after the bye, after the loss, they'd keep it close. They kept it as close as you can. They tied the Steelers 16-16. You leaned to the Lions. And finally, the Lions don't lose, Steve.
This was the number 1 survivor loser for the Sharps last week, the Pittsburgh Steelers. You want to talk about a bad beat, Ross? Imagine you make it almost to Thanksgiving. You have the Steelers in your survivor. They don't lose, but they don't win. And you have been eliminated. Thank you for playing.
That is brutal. And you find out the night before that Roethlisberger has COVID. Right?
1 hour after the deadline. Couldn't tell us he had COVID at 2:58. Nope. Wait for that 3 p.m. deadline, then announce it.
That's amazing. I didn't even realize that. All right. Let's get to Jags Colts. I leaned Colts. You put 2 units on the Colts, laying 10. They were up 17-0, Steve. And the Jags came all the way back to make a game of it, 23-17. It's a good thing for the Colts. They blocked that punt.
Yeah, I was patting myself on the back like Barry Horowitz on my handicap on this one, and the Jags were just going to get rolled, and then the Colts stopped playing. I downgraded the Colts on my power ratings. Here's a team that the trend line had been up since that 0-3 start. This was a bad game despite the win.
Then you've got the Saints and the Titans. I lean to the Saints. They were getting 3. They lose by 2. Panthers, Cardinals. I lean to the Panthers getting 9.5. They won 34-10, Steve, after they signed Cam Newton.
Yeah, word got out late Saturday night that Murray wasn't going to play almost for sure. The Sharps pounded plus 10 and plus 10.5 and under 44.5, under 44. We talk about the importance of the number, Ross. That total lands 44. If you got to it before Saturday night, you won or pushed. Sunday morning closes 41.5. No good. Lands 44.
Vikings, Chargers. Mentioned earlier, the Vikings were the only of my 3 teaser legs that actually came through. So I lost 6 units on the teasers. You lost 8 units on the teasers. Let's get to something more positive. How about the Eagles and the Broncos? Eagles were getting 3. I put 2 units on them. Steve, you went big. 3 units makes it a best bet, and they smoked the Broncos 30-13. What did you know?
You know, sometimes you can just find a winner by seeing who the wise guys like. And the Eagles have been a team the wise guys have backed, sometimes successfully, sometimes unsuccessfully. But we've seen money pour in on the Eagles. This was the 3rd game this year that we saw a line move where the Eagles were catching a field goal, come all the way down to pick. Remember, this happened when the Eagles were playing Las Vegas as well. So the Eagles, on a weekend basis, are catching money from the wise guys late in the week.
Neither one of us had a bet on Seahawks Packers because of the uncertainty with the quarterbacks. Rodgers looked a little better than Wilson. They won. Chiefs Raiders. You put 2 units on the Raiders, Steve. I had the Raiders as a teaser leg, getting 2.5. They got destroyed, 41-14.
Yeah, major upgrade for Kansas City, downgrade for the Raiders. And you know what? This one's on me. Dumb handicap. The Raiders have been through the ringer emotionally with Gruden, then with Ruggs, new head coach, so many distractions. And I've seen this movie before. It always catches up to a team. A distracted NFL team is a team that is walking on eggshells, that's going more often than not to have issues. And finally, it happened this past week with the Raiders.
Rams Niners. Monday Night Football. I leaned to the Niners. They win 31-10. They were getting 4 points. Man, I wish that was more than just a lean. So for the week, Steve, I was down 4 units. You were down 7 units. For the year, I am down 5 units. You are up 12 units. We were 1-1 on our best bets. And so we're 13 wins, 11 losses, 1 tie on our best bets. One of our teasers was the same, Vikings and the Raiders. So 1-1 on our best bets. We are at 52% strike rate on our best bets this year. We shall move on to week number 11 in the NFL, if you can believe that. Overcoming the odds, rewriting the playbook, delivering under pressure. The MVPs of small business lead their teams to victory all year long. Visa is proud to provide playmakers everywhere with more tools to help grow their business and help them achieve even greater success. Because the more people we can empower, the more we all win. Visa, a network working for everyone. All right, Steve. Let's start with Thursday Night Football. It is the Patriots at the Falcons. On the DraftKings Sportsbook, the Patriots are laying 6.5. The total, 47.5.
This is one of the few games that my power ratings actually point to a play, and they say Atlanta should be the play. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. I'm not going against a Patriot team that is surging, despite the fact I make this game 5. So I'm going to be on the sidelines. I am going to give you a prop bet. What does New England and the Genius do best? Take away your best offensive option. So we're going to take Kyle Pitts. We're going to go under 69.5 reception yards. So under the 69, I like this lucky under 69.5, Ross.
Ooh, I like that bet. That's interesting because you're right. They'll probably put like J.C. Jackson on him and won't let Pitts have a good night. I would just lean Atlanta getting the 6.5 right now, but they were tough to watch against the Cowboys. Patriots are on a roll. I'm not going to actually put any units on it. What about the Colts and the Bills? The Colts are getting 7.5. The total is 50, Steve.
I'm going to lean to the Colts catching that hook at 7.5. But frankly, that's where my power ratings make the number. I still think Buffalo is the class of the AFC, and I don't like the way the Colts couldn't finish last week. So just a lean to the Indianapolis Colts that obviously really need the game.
So I really like the Colts in this one. I'm putting 2 units on the Colts, getting the 7.5. You know, they've been playing really well. They got up 17-0. I think they let their foot off the gas a little bit against the Jaguars. The Bills, over the last month or so haven't played great. They got the blowout over the Jets, but the Jets aren't good. They beat the Dolphins. Dolphins aren't good. Colts are a real team. Indianapolis plus 7.5, 2 units. Baltimore is in Chicago. They're laying 6 points. The total is 46, Steve.
So real good spot for Baltimore to bounce back off the ridiculous disappointment Thursday night. And a real good spot for the Bears off of a bye to absolutely bring it with both teams in favorable situations. I'm going to pass the game.
I'm going to pass as well. I would lean to Baltimore laying the points. I think Baltimore is going to come out and play much, much better than they did against the Dolphins. But I'm not laying 6 on the road. We've got the Packers at the Vikings. The Packers are laying 2.5. The total's 49, Steve.
So here come the teasers. I'm going to tease the Vikings from 2.5 up to 8.5. Really like that play. All the Vikings do is play close games that they oftentimes lose, right? What am I going to tease them with? Let's tease them with Seattle up to 8.5. So I will take Seattle as well as the second leg of the teaser, 2 units.
Love it. I'm with that one as well. In fact, I've got 4 teaser legs that we'll talk about that I'm going to do my round robin teaser like I like to do, even though the last few weeks has not been good to me. And I've got Minnesota up to 8.5, New Orleans up to 7.5 against the Eagles. I've got Seattle up to 8.5 with you, Steve, which makes it the best bet against Arizona. A lot of unknown for Arizona right now. And I've got Dallas up to 8.5 against the Kansas City Chiefs. So those are my 4 teaser bets. But for right now, Seattle and Minnesota is a best bet.
The best bet.
How about the Texans in Houston or in Tennessee to take on the Titans? Texans are getting 11 points. Total's 44.5, Steve.
So it's a great spot for the Texans. Really bad team coming in off of a bye. And you've got a Tennessee team that has just won in spectacular fashion against 5 straight playoff caliber teams. Seen this movie before. Time to exhale. Time to relax. Time for the Texans to have a competitive game. Houston plus 11, 2 units.
Steve, you just read right from my playbook. Totally agree. Titans are winning close ones, but they're not putting up a whole lot of yards or points. Tyrod Taylor has gotten now a couple weeks to prepare and to practice. I think the Texans are a live dog in this one. I like them getting the 11 points. 2 units for me, Tyrod and the Texans. Another best bet.
The best bet.
What about the Lions catching 10 against the Browns with a total of 44.5, Steve?
Now, here's a dog I can't get behind. I don't want any part of Cleveland. Hate what I saw from them, but Detroit, they left it all out there. They were doing their very, very best to win, not tie. Having said that, I do believe there's a little precedent here, Ross. I'm sure you're familiar with the movie Necessary Roughness, correct?
Yes.
All right. So in Necessary Roughness, Sinbad's finest movie, The Armadillos started out 0-8, and then they got a tie in the rain, in terrible weather. They won their next game. Eerily reminiscent of this situation. I don't think that really matters, though. I pass.
I can't do it. I think the Browns bounce back. I think the Lions let it all out there against the Steelers. I will lean Detroit. It's a Detroit lean for me, but I'm not going to put any units on it. What about the Niners in Jacksonville laying 6.5, Steve? Totals 46.
Niners are a really easy team to handicap, right? Well, maybe not so much. They have been better on the road historically. It is a short week. They need W's, Ross. And I could only look towards San Francisco. Strong lean to the Niners, who seem to have found their mojo Monday night.
Totally agree. Strong lean to the Niners. Thought real hard about laying the points. Not going to do it. The Jags were competitive against the Colts. Niners short week on the road, cross country, but it's a lean to the Niners for me. How about the football team in Charlotte to take on the Panthers? Looks like Cam Newton will be starting. The football team's getting 3.5, Steve. The total's 43.
You know, the fact that the Giants are getting the hook here, my power ratings make it 3.5, but, you know, the good story of Carolina and that great win in Arizona, you got to believe Cam's not going to be ready to go. He's just learning the playbook, and the Giants are the team off the bye that should be focused. All the Giants do is play games that should go into overtime and are super close. They'll probably find a way to blow the game. They'll still cover. Giants plus 3.5, 2 units.
So just to be clear here, Steve, Carolina's playing Washington.
Oh my goodness.
You said the Giants 3 times.
Cut.
You said the Giants 3 times.
I'm passing. I'm passing on. Well, I am so sorry. I don't know where my brain is.
No, that's okay. Look, everything you just said, I agree with the football team. I got 2 units on Washington. I think Ron Rivera knows Cam Newton like a book. I don't think Cam Newton's going to be ready to go. And I think Washington has a great chance to win the game. I'm taking the 3.5 points from Washington for 2 units. Next game, the Saints are at the Eagles. Kind of interesting. Eagles 1.5 point favorites. Saints have been competitive under Simeon. He's playing fine. Not great, but not bad. I like the Saints as a teaser leg, up to 7.5, through the 3, through the 7. Saints up to 7.5. They are one of my 4 teaser legs for the week.
You know, the Eagles can play really well, and they've had some stinkers as well. I see this game as having a lot of variance compared to a normal game. Because of that, I'm going to sit on the sidelines. I will say this. The wise guys always bet the Eagles, so I would imagine they're probably going to bet them again this week. So you might get an even more attractive price on the Saints if you wait. So I might wait until the end of the week to go ahead and bet the Saints in this game.
Interesting. Why do you think the wise guys like him so much?
I think the improvement of Hurts at running back, the fact that the team now has evolved into a running game where Hurts is willing to run the ball much more, has made the offense so much more effective. That's my take. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think on all like these statistics, like the average per play and stuff, I think they're way up there. How about the Dolphins at the Jets? Dolphins are laying 3. Tua will start, total 44.5. Robert Saleh fighting with Rex Ryan.
Yes, that was a real surprise. What Miami did on Thursday night, they're still a bad team, and now they got to travel to not such great weather. I can only look towards the Jets, but I don't even know how healthy Wilson's going to be. I assume it's going to be Wilson, who has been awful at quarterback. I'll lean to the horrible Jets.
Yeah, I got nothing on this game. I guess I would lean Dolphins, but I don't have a whole lot on that one. What about, Steve, the Bengals at the Raiders? Bengals are laying 1 point.
You know, this seems high, doesn't it? It seems the wrong team's favored. I mean, if you ask me who's the better team, I'm like, yeah, the Bengals by just a little bit. there's not a big Bengal contingent in Las Vegas. There's not going to be, a huge packed Delta airline flights from Cincinnati to Vegas to back the Cincinnati Bengals. Big home field for the Raiders. Really disappointing last week against Kansas City. They should get healthier in this game. 2 units. I got to take the Raiders as the underdog.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, not me. It's back-to-back really bad performances by the Raiders. I need to see them right the ship a little bit. I would just lean Cincinnati. Cowboys at the Chiefs. Awesome 4:25 p.m. game. Totals 56.5. Cowboys are catching 2.5 points, Steve.
It's interesting with this total because Kansas City has accepted the fact that they should actually have some ball control in their offense, and first downs are fine instead of throwing deep down the field. However, you do have 2 dead not over teams with Dallas here. Dallas is the better team. If I could get 3, I would bet Dallas. Just a lean to Dallas at 2.5.
Yeah, I'm teasing the Cowboys up to 8.5. They're one of my teaser legs. I think they have a good chance to win the game. If they lose, I think it's a close game. So I like them as a teaser leg. Just like I like the Seahawks as a teaser leg. They're hosting the Cardinals. The line right now is Seahawks getting 2.5. I suspect Kyler Murray will be back. But how healthy is the question. I also suspect that Russell Wilson will play much better. I like the Seahawks as a teaser leg up to 8.5. You said that as well already, Steve. So we can move on to the Steel, unless you have another bet on that game.
Nope, just the teaser. And, Arizona, there was talk they were the best team in the NFL. Now the talk is, can they win the division? They've had some disappointments.
I got another best bet. AutoZone. Why? Because they're America's #1 battery destination. That's why. Why the #1? Well, they're the only place that carries proven tough Duralast batteries. Number 2, their replacement batteries start at $79.99, so you can upgrade your battery without breaking your wallet. Number 3, they've got free battery testing and charging. Sometimes you think it's your battery. It's not. It's like your starter or your alternator. They've got that free battery charging. So if you simply need a charge, they'll do that as well. Look, the proof is in the pudding. It's America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. There you go, Steve. I like it. I like the AutoZone. So this is crazy, Steve. An hour ago, I liked the Chargers laying 4.5 against Pittsburgh Sunday night. Now the line is up to 6. It's moved 1.5 in like an hour. And I think it's the Minkah Fitzpatrick news. It's the fact that TJ Watt probably won't play. Roethlisberger probably won't play. They're preparing Mason Rudolph. Now it's up to 6. Now I'm out. I'm at 6 is too much for me. Numbers matter, Steve. I'm out on this game. I guess I would still lean Chargers, but I'm not laying 6.
Exactly right. And look at these Pittsburgh Steelers. So 5-3-1. When was the last time you saw this, Ross? Their season win number at DraftKings is 7.5. They're not going to be favored the rest of the year. So remember, Pittsburgh started 11-0 last year and then completely collapsed. Same thing's going to happen this year. It's interesting. Tomlin hasn't had a losing record in forever with the Steelers. One wonders if that tie is going to get him to 8-1, and he's going to be able to continue that streak or not.
Wait a minute. The Steelers aren't going to be favored again the rest of the year?
I don't see one game. I went through their whole schedule. Not a one.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so they've got home games against Baltimore, games like that. I don't see them being favored, and the wise guys don't like Pittsburgh at all. And like you said, money coming in on the Chargers, I think that's going to be a common theme. The collapse of the Steelers last year, and let's face it, do we really think Big Ben's going to get better at the end of the year? He's 80. No. Steelers, bold prediction, they don't win a game the rest of the year.
Whoa. That's not going to happen. I can tell you that much right now. How about Monday Night Football? Giants.
Oh, look, it's Monday Night Football. That's the New York Giants game. They're at
Yes.
Tampa Bay.
Against the Bucks. Bucks are laying 10.5.
Normally, I would love the Giants here, but this is a game that the Bucks absolutely have to circle after being so disappointing. And let's face it, what is the team that Tom Brady wants to beat the most? The New York Giants, because of the Super Bowl revenge games. So because of that, there is no way that they're going to be overlooking off this poor performance against the Redskins and Brady's history, the New York Giants. So when there's an 11-point favorite, we analyze how motivated is the favorite, extremely motivated. So I cannot bet the Giants in this spot.
I'm putting 1 unit on the Giants. The hook got me. 10.5, that hook got me. Giants been playing better as of late. Bucks have not been. I'll be mad when the Bucks are up by 30 at some point, but I'm putting 1 unit on the G-Men. That'll do it for this week here on the Even Money Podcast. Please tell everybody you know about the show. We really appreciate how popular this has become, how many of you guys love it. We try to get you everything you need to know in 30 minutes or less. Good luck, everybody. Hope you guys win some money.
Thanks for listening to the Even Money Podcast. Make sure to also subscribe to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, The Fantasy Feast, Business of Sports, and The College Draft. All available at Apple Podcasts, rosstucker.com, or wherever podcasts can be found.
A lot of times on the show, I mentioned DraftKings. Here's what you need to know. You got to be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT. By the way, if what I was talking about included a deposit bonus, doesn't always, sometimes it does. Deposit bonus requires 25 times playthrough, and deposit bonuses are paid out in site credit.